Right. Sorry, what did he say?
Get them all the fuck. Racist. He's just an absolute dickhead, mate. That doesn't know how to run a country.
People are that scared and on edge to say what they really feel. A few days ago, I read on the news that a bunch of folks in Falkirk, Scotland, were not happy with immigrants and held a protest against them. That didn't make sense to me. Scottish folks are very friendly. So I came up to Falkirk. And of course, if you're in Falkirk, we have to start off at the Kelpies, the main town's attraction. Just to give you guys some context before I actually go interview somebody, the protest was about a migrant hotel. Yes, if you've interacted anywhere within the UK's internet space, you know that there are migrant hotels where essentially people who come here to the UK on boats get housed up at. Some people don't like it because they feel like they get a lot of privileges and amenities which they don't get on their day-to-day basis. Some people have a more humanist vision and believe that these people have left their home countries for a reason and that the UK should take care of them. Now there are two sides to this. I have zero opinion on this. I am Singaporean senator. So let's go talk to the locals as to what they feel. Sorry?
Protest against immigrants.
Yep,
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
So like, what are your thoughts on it? Because I'm from Singapore. I don't know much about what happens in Scotland, right?
Well, I don't mind people coming in that are maybe coming from war-torn countries, but I'm disagreeing with people just coming on the boat, people are no working and stuck in a hotel and whatever like that.
Are there such hotels like that over here?
Yeah. The
Alright.
one in Falkirk, it's got quite a few immigrants, and I think all over Britain, I think there's quite a few.
The hotel she's talking about, of course, is Hotel Claddon. This is the one. It has a 4.2 star rating, surprisingly, although it doesn't look that impressive from the outside. This is where a lot of migrants are housed, about 300 to 400, and well, the headlines don't really help them. Okay, and it's right beside a little. The protests happened over here, but there seems to be no sign of it, and it's quite deserted. Reform apparently is planning another protest over here, and I was trying to see if I can find somebody who's organizing this entire thing, but no, it's quite deserted so far. Nigel Farage was over here 3 days ago, and I do have an opinion on him, negative. I seem to have missed him. I would have loved to have a conversation with him. That dude over there, and two more. And I think the first two guys were Eastern Europeans, so they might actually be migrants from there. Those guys refused to speak on camera regarding the protest. Yeah, they are okay with me asking questions, but the moment I take out the camera, they are like, absolutely not. So clearly something that is still very sensitive around here.
So like these protests have been going on for a while, but I think on Saturday it got really crazy because Nigel Farage came, and I think there's a councillor in Falkirk that is Reform, and there does seem to be a lot of growing support for it. But I think in general most people in Falkirk are really welcoming and sorry.
No worries. From what I have seen in Scotland, people are generally very welcoming, and it's a pretty diverse place.
Yeah.
Seeing this sort of thing on the news to me was a big surprise.
Yeah.
So what do you think like sort of caused this?
I think there's this hotel that's housing like young men, and I think there's some security concerns from a lot of people. And I think that's kind of what's started it all. But then you've got like kind of the really right-wing people on this side of the road and the really left-wing people on this side of the road, and they're just sort of shouting at each other, and it's just like as the weeks have progressed, it's just gotten worse and worse. The police are there, I think it's every Wednesday and Saturday they happen. So the police are there, but yeah, I don't think anything's really happened. They're just kind of like left to it.
So the protests happen here twice a week.
Yeah, Wednesday and Saturdays most of the time. And it's been happening since maybe like June or July, every single week.
Wow, how has this not been covered more? Like, I only saw this in the news just last week or so.
Yeah, because Farage came, but yeah, it's been going on for a long time. I don't know why it's not covered. Like, if you go on TikTok and things, like, you will see little things, but none of them have been as big as this one.
And the people who are protesting against the migrants were Scottish, because I heard somebody say that, no, these folks were brought in from England by Reform.
I think a lot of people had travelled because they're kind of like groupies for Farage. But yeah, like people come from Glasgow, from Edinburgh, like from down south. There would be people from Falkirk most of the time every week, like when it's Wednesday and Saturday. Aside from this week, it is just people from Falkirk, I think, or surrounding areas. But
Right. Thank you so much for your time.
no worries.
Thank you. Where do you stand on this issue, and what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, well, we're pretty much I'll speak for the both of us, I guess, here. But I'll say we're pretty much not on the side of the people who are going against the cladding and protesting against immigration.
Well, the folk on the side who are against the migration basically believe that there's several rapists running out of the cladding. mainly because there was a high-profile rape case. I think it was a few years ago anyway, and it was a guy who raped a 15-year-old lassie. The guy got jailed, and he will be getting deported at the end of his sentence. There's been another sexual assault case last week, right before the rallies as well, which has obviously fueled it a bit more. But that's basically where those people stand. Most of them believe that they're protecting, or that they're standing for the protection of women and kids.
And where do you think Falkirk as a whole stands on this issue?
I think it's very mixed. I think especially in recent times, a lot of folk are in favour of the anti-migration protests, but then also I know a lot of folk that don't agree with that as well.
And do you think the coming of Farage to this town really sort of worsened things overall in terms of intensity?
I don't think it made much of a difference, to be honest, because he was in Grangemouth in the Shire rather than actually at the protests. I think it wasn't. I feel like a lot of people didn't really pay much attention to him. And he's not a popular figure here. You'll never be a popular figure here.
Yeah, I feel like he's only popular as a kind of joke over an actual like figure to look up to, you know.
So, some folks on the internet were saying like Falkirk is perhaps the most racist town in Scotland because of all these protests. Do you agree with that label, or do you think that's just like sensationalist?
It's sensationalist, and you got to on both sides, granted, but there's people from out of town coming in for both sides of the cladding protest. It's not fair to use either side as a representation of the people in Falkirk, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to say, with a lot of like people my age, I've never really met with someone with actual like bigoted racist views who are against migrants and blah 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 blah. It all seems to be like the older generation who are getting this like echo chamber on Facebook of just like, oh, this happened floating in the town of Falkirk by like 10,000 migrants, and you're like, alright, okay, sure. Right. So I would say it's a lot of the older generation.
I would say middle-aged and upwards.
Yeah, middle-aged and upwards.
So maybe I'm talking to the wrong demographic, because so far I've tried to speak to people, either they don't want to be on camera, they don't know much about the subject, or like it's young folks like yourself who are pretty liberal and open-minded, right? So, all right. Thank you so much for it.
Thank you.
Thank you. So sorry to disturb you.
day.
Thank you. I get where the girl was coming from, because usually anti-migrant sentiments are shared by old people, but the one old person we actually interviewed was pretty balanced in her view, right? That she just doesn't want illegal immigration, and not what the reform voters usually say, that they don't want any migration. Now, I have to keep mentioning this. I'm just a Singaporean and my knowledge on this subject is very limited, so take what I say with the pinch of salt.
Take my life, Nigel Farage, and I think that he should be the next person to probably run this country, mate, to be honest, because what benefit is what's his face? The Prime Minister
Keir Starmer.
Keir Starmer, he's just an absolute dickhead, mate. Doesn't even know how to run a country, doesn't he?
Right. I mean, I'm not from the UK. I'm from Singapore, so very different political systems, right? And I mean,
he's run this the UK down to the ground, mate. That's all he's done. He's told everybody he's going to change this, that, the next thing, mate. He's done the complete opposite.
As I understand, Farage is an unpopular opinion, at least where I come from in Glasgow, right? Why do you think he's popular, particularly here in Falkirk?
I think just because everybody's sick and tired of all the immigrants coming over, mate, and he's the only one who pretty much stand for it. Stand for the immigrants and for them not to be here, mate, because they've no right to be here. Maybe they're fleeing from a different country, but why the UK? Because the government pay the benefits and they can claim that.
Do you think there is a safety issue as well with all these migrants being here?
Aye, especially for all the young children and stuff like that. Because there's a lot of young people that be here that run about your local parks and stuff like that. And there's been so many stories, mate, like on the internet, like Facebook, TikTok, all that kind of stuff. That all you see these immigrants causing bad nature things to young people, and even people like myself, young men that they're bringing out machetes thinking that they're from their own country, that they're able to do that. That's not the way Scotland run. If you do that around here, mate, you're going to get 4 years put in the prison system. That's just the way that this country works.
Ideally, just as I understand, you would want Farage to be the next PM, and these guys to be sent back to where they came from.
100%.
Right, and do you think that's the general opinion of Falkirk?
Aye. I'd say most of them would probably say the same.
Right, because most people didn't want to be on camera saying this.
Aye, doesn't bother me, mate. I'm just straight up and honest, eh?
I mean, I didn't have you on camera. Would I? Oh, right.
Nah, I don't know why I'm being on camera.
Okay. No worries. On the internet, a lot of people are now saying that Falkirk is perhaps the most racist town in Scotland because of all these protests.
No.
Do you think that is unfair, sensationalist?
100%. Everybody's got their own opinion, and we obviously the stuff that's happened recently, obviously in Calendar Park, which is just a couple of minutes down from that Migrant Hotel, mate. There was about 8 months ago or something. There was a young child who got raped from an immigrant. So that's why there's been so many people that is making a stand for to have these people in our country.
So you're not against all migration, just illegal migration?
As long as the people that come over here that have got the right to work, come in and make a better future for everybody. We need people that are coming over here with no right to work coming on board. I don't agree with at all.
Okay, fair. I've heard this opinion, just no to illegal migration. Legal migration is completely alright, that sort of thing.
Perfect.
Alright, thank you so much for your time. Cheers.
You are.
Oh, sorry. Even just for that montage, someone was saying, "Are you videoing me?" People are that scared and on edge to say what they really feel. That guy was a bit chill, and I think that's because he really harbored strong emotions. To say that the whole of Falkirk thinks that there shouldn't be any immigrants over here, I think he's a bit wrong in that aspect. Just my video should prove that it is otherwise. But yeah, it's really politically charged, man. People just don't want to appear on camera. I think there's been a lot of interviews already, like the BBC, who have been asking people about their opinions on this subject, and it's still very sensitive and fresh. This is the MP office for the MP of Falkirk. His name is Ewan Steinbank. It's a pretty interesting name. I'd have loved to interview him actually, because he should be from Labour. Definitely Reform isn't here. So what you think about Nigel Farage, the entire protest issue, would have been very insightful to hear. One of the biggest reasons people said for the protests was safety, right? Especially of like young girls and everything.
Yeah.
So just wanted to ask you guys, like, have you guys felt unsafe because of the protests or the Migrant Hotel being here, that sort of thing?
Well, kind of unsafe that they're in there because we don't actually know who they are, and there has been one man who we actually spoke to one of these men at that church called Sonic, the one who used to live in there, who's just been jailed, who lives in the Migrant Hotel. We used to talk to him and he would try and like kiss us and marry us and stuff, and then now it just came out like he's been jailed for sexually assaulting a young girl in Falkirk. Yeah.
So where do you guys fall on this entire issue overall?
Online.
On the protest, because some people are like, okay, you know, keep the migrants in, we're chill with that. Some people are like, get them
don't
out.
really care that they're there, but as long as they're not harming anyone or any of us.
Young people, as I understand, whom I've generally spoken to, aren't really a fan of Reform, or they look at Nigel Farage as like a meme character.
Yeah.
Is that the case with you guys as well? Is that how like kids in your school think as well?
Yeah.
Is it?
We don't think like that though.
Oh, wait, what do you mean?
Like, how is that mean?
Oh, no.
But there is kids in our school that think of it like that. Yeah.
Right. Like more of a Trump kind of buffoon kind of character.
Yeah.
If there's one thing you could tell to the world about Falkirk, because all it's been getting is like negative press, right? Is there one thing you could tell?
Falkirk's the best.
Has the best people.
Has the best people. I did see the Kelpie, so it was very nice.
Have you been to the Falkirk Wheel?
Sorry?
You been to the Falkirk Wheel?
Falkirk Wheel? No, I've only been to... I know it's down the canal, right?
Yeah.
Nope, I live in Glasgow.
Well, fair enough.
Alright, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. See you, bye.
I think that they're more than welcome. My father works at Claddon Hotel.
Okay, wow.
My dad works there, he's a driver. So he drives meals to the hotel in Bathgate and the hotel in Edinburgh. So my position on it is probably they're more than welcome if they contribute to society, and then that's, you know what I mean, if they're coming working, that's fine by me, do you know what I mean? Everybody's welcome, doesn't matter what colour your skin is, everybody's welcome. You know what I mean? Race doesn't matter to me. As long as you're nice and you're respectful and you try and get in with the culture, you know what I mean? That's fine by me. I don't have any issues with that. I think that all the protests are just too much. Obviously, like imagine if you put 400 people from Scotland in a hotel, you're going to get people that are going to do wrong stuff. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be it doesn't matter what colour you're. There's always going to be people that are going to cause issues. Do you know what I mean? But that affects everybody else that's trying to work. Do you know what I mean? It tars them with the same brush.
Right.
So my stance on it is they're more than welcome.
Do you think the recent protests are about safety and the UK is too crowded, that sort of an issue, or is it more of a racist issue?
I think it's more of a racist issue, if I'm honest with you, because why would they be up protesting? Why would you protest about people that are coming over trying to get a better life, coming from war-torn countries? 30% is protection for kids and stuff, and the rest is just people that are jealous. Like, look at me, I'm in a homeless accommodation in the Castings,
Okay.
but there's people getting put up in hotels, getting 3 meals a day. I think that's maybe part of it.
Okay.
Like, there's Scottish people that are out homeless, but they're homing all these migrants. So I think that's probably part and parcel of the protests. I get why they're angry. There's certain people that have done certain stuff, and I get that totally. I'm a father myself, a daughter. I've got a daughter myself, so I can understand where they're coming from. But at the end of the day, there's always going to be people that are going to do silly stuff, and do you know what I mean?
Yep.
But I think that they're more than welcome. One thing I would say about Falkirk is we're a community that sticks together. Everybody knows everybody. So I think Falkirk. My stance on Falkirk is that it's a great town to live in, but it's got its ups and downs like every other place. There's rough areas, there's good areas, but at the end of the day, I think Falkirk's a really good place. You know what I mean? I think Nigel Farage is racist, in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
In my opinion, I think he's racist.
Uh-huh.
Know what I mean? He comes from that kind of posh background. Do you know what I mean?
Right. So you don't think he actually understands Falkirk?
I don't think he understands the process of them coming over here, getting work. Do you know what I mean? I think it's too overcrowded, we need to send them back. I think that's what his view is. If he was born in a war-torn country, do you not think he would come over to a country that's more civilised, you can get work? Do you know what I mean? I think he's just seen it from his perspective. He's not putting himself in migrant shoes, people that have nothing, people that are trying to make a life for themselves.
So you think it's just a bunch of racists protesting? That's your opinion on this?
That's my opinion. That's my opinion, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what colour your skin is, you should always treat them as an equal.
Right. So you're okay with all kinds of migration. So some people told me that they're against illegal migration, but legal migration they're okay with.
The only thing I disagree with is the ripping up of the passports. You know, the videos you see online of them ripping up the passports. I don't think they should do that. I think they should come, be completely honest, and they'll go much further. Do you know what I mean? But all these illegal people that are ripping up their passports, you don't know who they are, you don't know what they've done. You know what I mean? But migrants that are coming over here legally, more than welcome.
Right. Sorry, what did he say?
Get them all the fuck. Racist.
Could we have an interview? Okay, no,
He's got earphones in.
here's something on.
Aye, do you see what I mean?
Yep.
See what I mean? Get them the fuck. No. Let them come, let them contribute to society, let them make a better life for themselves. That's it.
Do you think there's a bunch of folks like that in Falkirk?
Aye, that's it. It's people that just are against it, and for reasons unbeknownst to me. You know what I mean? Everybody's got their own opinion at the end of the day, but in my eyes it's the wrong opinion. Do you know what I mean? Everybody deserves a chance. Everybody deserves a chance, and if you mess up that chance, then
It's on you.
it's on you, basically.
And where are these migrants usually from? I'm assuming Eastern Europe as well as the Middle East.
Well, in that hotel, it's mostly people of dark skin, like Africans, Somali, Kurdistan,
Okay.
Afghanistan, people like that, people that are fleeing war-torn countries, and I wouldn't blame them at all, because if that was me, I would look for a better life somewhere else as well.
Thank you so much for your
You're
time.
very welcome.
Yep.
Right, I hope you have a lovely weekend
Please.
when it comes, right?
Please send my regards to your father as
I
well.
will do, right? Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you so
See
much.
later.
It's now golden hour in Falkirk, very beautiful, and the train station is over here. I need to leave, my train's coming soon. What do you guys think about Falkirk? All the interviews which I did, I think it sounds very cliche, but as always, the truth lies somewhere in between. To say that Falkirk is divided, I think there's a lot of truth to that. That vertical interview which I took of that one guy who said he's gonna vote reform, mind you, that guy was not an anomaly. So many guys who looked like him, the moment they saw my camera, they just said nope and would leave. I can bet at least 50% of them are reform voters, don't like migrants, and that is their general sentiment, at least for that demographic. Then you saw the younger folks who are generally okay, but even amongst them there are people who don't like migrants, thinking that they shouldn't be housed over here. So Falkirk truly is a divided town. But are their opinions actually that extreme? I have zero clue what's gonna be the outcome of all these protests, all these divisions within Falkirk, whether reform is gonna win the next election or not. Some people think they are gonna win. I interviewed somebody like that. Some people don't think that's gonna happen. They look at him like a joke. Statistically, if the next election were to happen today, reform would win by a landslide. So that's not very great news. That's my first opinion. If Farage becomes the Prime Minister of the UK, you can come back to this video and see how the UK would be run to the ground by him. Really not the best prime ministerial candidate, but that's just my opinion as a politics student. Thank you for tuning in. I hope it was something different to what you might find on the BBC or any other major news outlet. Do like this video. If you enjoyed it, share it with a friend who might as well. And of course, subscribe. It really helps the channel. Most of you have not subscribed. Follow me on my Instagram and TikTok, where I post a lot more frequently. And if you have anything to say about the controversial things I've covered in this video, do leave a comment. I would love to read them and know what you guys think as well. Thank you once again for watching the video, and see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.